Look, as we all heard from the data before, I mean, like, there's a discrepancy. It makes no sense. We're huge, but we're seen as small. We're powerful, but we're perceived, and even ourselves think of ourselves small, and that is a problem. We're underrepresented, misrepresented, and undervalued. We're not in front of cameras, we're not behind cameras, and when we are, we're presented as someone we're not. And me as a marketer, that makes no sense. We have a reverse marketing problem. Like, I spent my entire life trying to highlight the attributes of really hard things so that we can win the hearts and the minds of people, whether it's poverty or children or vaccination or anything else that I was working on. So when I came to America, it just like didn't make sense that I could read the numbers on paper, but then the reality felt very, very different. And you know, like that is absolutely, I think, that the case for all of us. When I moved to America, I was expecting the red carpet after looking at the 12% of the GDP and looking at that. I was like, they're gonna say, Latina, come in. And it didn't feel that way. And I really think that we have to owe it to us that our children are hired in companies because they are Hispanics, not despite of they are being Hispanics, so that can really become our superpower. And when I started digging into why is this perception such, like why we have such a deep reverse marketing problem, I did go to the 77% of Latinos that don't know about their own contributions to the country. But then if you start looking at that, if you start looking at all the data that everybody presented, we have all the pieces. We just don't have a comprehensive plan. We just don't have a plan to change our perception together. Because a lot of people are working on one industry or one other, or doing one percentage or another. What we need is a comprehensive plan, all of us, to change our perception for good. And then what we need to do after delivering our plan is have a map. Who's doing what? How do we actually connect the different people that are working on Hollywood initiatives so that we can get going? Does that make sense for everybody? Because we're going to ask you, actually, this is going to be the interactive session. So I don't know about you, but I had the opportunity to go to the African American Museum in Washington, and I was blown away by it. For every piece of it. The architecture is fantastic and so on, but this piece was the most intriguing for me overall. This is the section that is called A Changing America. And I started looking at how the African American community had a very deliberate effort to creating a plan to change their perception. So they had the area where you define, you know, like what is the Afro look, and then they started mapping it out. How do we get this Afro look and this Afro sense into film, into television, into culture, into fashion, into photography, into books, into poetry? How do we actually make it everywhere so that we can break the stereotypes? And I think that that is what I would like to propose we do. I would like to propose we do a plan where we start changing perception by understanding where is perception created. And the objective here for us is to identify the key initiatives and actors and initiatives that are working in perception. So I took the liberty to give it a first go. I would like to have your input, and we're going to open it up for you to give us feedback about what are the areas. Maybe these are the wrong buckets, maybe these are not the categories, the subcategories, but I started bucking it out as much as I could, saying, where is perception changed? Well, where is perception created? Well, arts and entertainment plays a big role, news and technology, and community and corporate environments. And then we started breaking it down. What does it mean in each and every one of those categories so that we can start looking who is working there, who has an in, and who can advocate for us to move to what, and what are the goals that we want to see. So in creative industry and entertainment, advertising, Hollywood, gaming, fashion, photography, music, literature, media, data and facts, news and radio, publications, magazines, social media, digital podcasts, machine learning efforts, community and corporate settings, churches, the incredible role that our religious leaders play in actually telling us and reflecting us how we are, schools, clubs, ERGs, local affinity groups, professional organizations, events. These are not perfect. I got it. We did it ourselves, but we need the collective input if we have the collective desire to make this change. And man, this is it. We're really going to bang ourselves on the wall if 5 years from now we turn back and we did nothing our perception after having every single piece to change our perception. So what we did after that was start looking at which advocacy Latino organizations are working in those buckets. Again, this might not be perfect. I called on a couple of people asking for their support, understanding that really I'm a newcomer. I just arrived to America, like I'm new to this entire thing. But we saw that there's a number of areas where a couple of people are already working on that. There's a couple of people, organizations like LA Collab, LCD, and others that are already advocating to changing the perception of Latinos in Hollywood. Women Will Grow, that are advocating to have more Latinos in Hollywood one way or the other. There's a number, like everything that is in yellow, we could identify 3 or more advocacy groups that are already present there. Less or two as photography, television, and so on, and there's a couple of reds there. I don't know anybody that is really working on churches as a way to change a perception for the Latino community. I don't know anybody that is working on clubs, sports clubs, these clubs, like as an organization. Maybe they are, we just don't know it. And what I would like to open it up is to say, like, I just want to do that, I don't want to do that. Like, there's a number of us that are in this together. I don't want to do that. Wait a second. Nah. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, this one. I would like for all of you to, like look at, like the possibility to scanning this so that we can get your feedback about the framework. Like, is this framework comprehensive? Do we have the categories that we need? Can you add the names of who's doing what, who's running one piece or another? How, are you in? Do you think that this is valuable? Just give us your feedback. And if you cannot actually have it, we're going to have a number of members of the team so that you can capture this barcode. We're going to be opening it up anyways. That's why I'm having my honorable friend Jorge Plasencia here so that we can capture your data. Don't worry if you don't have it. We're going to share it around. I think that members of the World Human Foundation, particularly Michelle over there, are going to pass it on. Do you have it? Anybody has it or not? No? Doesn't work? It's Pixel? Okay, don't worry. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Okay. So let's actually say that we're going to have a code for you to provide feedback. We don't have to do it now. We're going to open it up anyways. I want to offer you the Hispanic Star as a platform, as a symbol to unify us all. What you said, I think that what Marcos said and what everybody said, is that we all are everything. We need a sense of belonging and understanding that Latinos are 100% Latinos, but also 100% Americans. We created this symbol. We didn't, like WPP did, create this symbol to unify us all so that we can be seen as stars and that we can be united, like the rainbow for the LGBTQ. And I do know that all of you know, or not all of you at least I have tried to share with you the, like the opportunity of the symbol, but it is here. It is a symbol to unify us all. It's a platform to showcase the incredible contributions of Latinos, and it is a framework of action so that when we see this in the future, ideally, we feel that's good for Latinos, Latino unity, Latino pride. And we have a number of people that are behind this, and I think that one of the proudest moments that I have is like creating, like inviting people to be part of an alliance that has one dream, for Latinos to be seen, heard, and valued. And what we have started doing is put a lot of information from a number of sources like LDC, from Stacey Darmas, from Pew, from Nielsen, from everywhere, and just put them in infographics in any single form that we can so that we can encourage and equip factivists, people that can be using this factivism. And if you have not seen it, I hope so. I want to make my commitment for next year. This is what the World Human Foundation is going to be doing all across the year. We're going to create tentpoles and milestones where we're going to be bringing information, bringing factivism, bringing data under 3 main things: a unifying messaging framework, a unifying data set, and a unifying set of communication assets. For Hispanic Heritage Month, we're launching this data on April 15th so that people can get equipped beforehand. I don't know exactly what that video is, so, but I'm scared of pressing it, so I think that I love Nancy seeing her there, but I just like don't remember exactly what it is. But this is Hispanic. Okay, so I know this is about Hispanic Heritage, the results of Hispanic Heritage Month last year. I want to finish with that so that we can all get inspired about the things that are possible to be done. This was a pilot, and it actually provided great results. Let's play the video.
I knew it was gonna happen. I just didn't know it was gonna happen so fast. And I've seen more than 100 companies that didn't celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month before celebrated this year. If you haven't done anything for Hispanic Heritage Month, do it. Celebrate Latinos and be proud. Latino unity, Latino pride. We're Hispanic stars ready to shine.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the blacks. That's so cute. Nice. Jorge Plasencia, you've been there, done that. We're going to open it up. This is an opportunity for all of you. What we're here to do is get your wisdom, get your guidance, and then have two particular areas for you guys. One is feedback, and what would you need? In order to operate so that we can change our perception together. The other one is commitments. We're here to take your pledges. Whomever wants to commit to mobilize your organization and do something for Hispanic Heritage Month, whomever wants to commit to mobilize your local authorities to organize something, whomever wants to say, I'm going to be a factivist and go to my schools, to my church, to my, like sports club, whatever it is, and tell 10 people about all the Latino stories. This is where we're going to start, Jorge and I, taking your pledges and also your feedback. But before, Jorge Plasencia.
Can I have a round of applause for this extraordinary woman? I remember 4 years ago, we were in Miami. I had never met Claudia, but somebody said, you have to meet her. And from the second I met her, it was just a force of nature, right? I said, she shared with me her dream to do this. And to witness it 4 years later, and to witness what she's done, for those of us that have been in the Hispanic community, I was hearing you, Dr. Andrade, this morning, you should be up here instead of me. But I was hearing what you were saying, right? That en la unión está la fuerza. We have to come together. I'm Cuban American from Miami. When I was elected board chair, at the time it was called the National Council of La Raza, in 2012, I was the first Cuban American elected board chair to that organization. Today it's called Unidos US. And I remember people saying, I never thought that I'd see a Cuban American chair of this board, right? It had mostly been over the years Mexican Americans, Puerto Rican Americans, but it was the first time there was a Cuban American. And for me, that was such a moment of pride, because it showed that for once and for all, we were now building bridges amongst our different cities, communities, ethnic groups, backgrounds, countries, right? And I thought that was what's important. And you have been doing that. You've been doing that these 4 years, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us, because, there's that cliche, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and, I think when we look back 10, 15, 20 years from this moment, this will be that one of those people that a lot of us are going to be standing on Claudia's shoulders because of everything she's done. So I just want to say thank you. She recently called me and talked to me about the Hispanic perception and the mapping, and I think it's brilliant. I told her she has all of my support, my team's support, anything that we can do to support, because I do believe a rising tide lifts all ships, right? And I believe that in any industry, be it in my industry, in technology, in law, whatever. The more industries come together, right, the better it is for that industry. I think we have to see our community in a way, because we are a power as that, right? We have to see ourselves as that. And I think it was the generations that came before us that were really building, that were really fighting, and we have to stand on their shoulders, right? Because they were the ones that during the civil rights era and during, my parents, when they got here from Cuba in the early 60s, and the Nicaraguans, and now the Venezolanos, and obviously, the Mexican Americans, and everybody else, right? Everybody got here. Our parents had to work hard. Our grandparents had to work hard. Our aunts and uncles had to work hard to build, right? It's now our role to deepen. Our role to push it through, our role to bring it home, but truly bring it home. What she's done, and I see Monica Talan back there. We both work together at Univision. Hispanic Heritage Month is a moment where we should all be proud, right? I think finally we could all be proud about Hispanic Heritage Month, and brands finally are doing something about it, right? And companies are doing about it, and ERGs are doing stuff about it, and organizations are doing something about it. But that's because you've put the pride back in Hispanic Heritage Month. And I just want to say, again, thank you. So I'm going to shut up, but I just think it's such a moment to just come together as one community. It doesn't matter where we're from. Here you have a Mexican American, you have a Cuban American, together on this stage. You know, and putting a lot of this, you know, I remember back when I joined the NCLR board, you know, it was Hispanic versus Latino, and, you know, who liked Latino, who liked Hispanic. I use them interchangeably, right? Now you know, there's recent information out about the word Latinx and what that is. I think we need to brand. You know, and that's what you're doing. You know, that's what this organization's doing. And I think we have to put aside a lot of those issues and just look at the goal, right? And stay clear on what that goal is and what that bullseye is, which is lifting this entire community up, right? Lifting us all up, and with it, lifting up ventures and entrepreneurship and nonprofits and leaders and academia and you name it, everybody coming together. So I think that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to be doing with the mapping. So I'm really excited about that.
No, and this is awesome. And the only thing is, we're going to open up, lights up, please, on the room. Concrete, precise. I'm gonna, like, I hate to take my pointy hat and put it on, but it's not about like talking about your background and so on. It's like what commitments you're making for our community, what questions, what would you need, what's the feedback that you have for all of us, for us. Dr. Juan Andrade agreed this morning to be part of this perception working group that we're gonna have with Jorge, and Hispanics, Latino, Latinx, please do not get distracted on labels. Use whatever you want, but just don't discuss it too much. Please do not discuss too much whether Cinco de Mayo is the Independence Day of Mexico or not. It doesn't matter. Take every opportunity to deliver our message, that we're positive contributors to the country, that we matter, that we grow. So don't get distracted and be strategic about it. Let's get to the price, and the price is that we have to be seen, heard, and valued. Open up. Jorge Plasencia and I welcome your feedback, comment, and commitments. Yes, please.
Hi.
Do we have a mic? Otherwise, I give you mine. Here. There's another mic.
Thank you so much for doing this. My husband and I are committed to creating the first Latino-owned major movie studio in Hollywood.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, my brother's a film writer, so I got to connect you.
Great. We just opened a 14,000 square foot studio in the heart of LA. Awesome. And what we're using technology to democratize the process. We've raised millions of dollars for hundreds of projects. A lot of times in the industry, what we do is complain, right? Oh, we're not being included. We're not being included. So we're using technology, grassroots marketing, community engagement, and we're disruptors. What we need is, we're doing our seed round. And I guess we're one of the 1% because we just locked our first VC funding last month.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And the name of the studio is called Avenida, because we believe you create your own Avenida, right? It's called Avenida Studios. So please come talk to us.
How can we help you, and what's your commitment to the bigger picture?
We're committed to transforming the image of Latinos in the media. We wake up every day and say, what can we do today? We've been bootstrapping for 5 years. Like I said, we just opened our seed round. We need funding, and we need some PR. So if you're here and you're interested, and we have revenue, and we have a lot of important clients, and we are committed. The way that we're doing it is we don't focus on the celebrities, because a lot of the organizations do that, but there's like 5 celebrities that are Latino, right? So what we're doing is empowering storytellers from the bottom up, and this is how we believe we're going to transform this industry.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Please, mic over there, if you don't mind. And let's, again, keep it short, feedback or commitments.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Karina Dominguez. I am proudly here representing the city of Milpitas. I'm an elected official there. Former vice mayor, I'm a city council member, and future mayor. I'm putting it out in the universe one day. am here because I want to make the commitment of definitely helping by starting a hub in Silicon Valley. I think it needs to be regional. So that is my commitment to you. You have me here. I want to help, and so I want to lead that. When you were talking about the different categories and subcategories, one thing that I would like to kindly ask is, we opened up this forum with talking about how important it is to get qualified elected leaders who are going to represent our Latino community as a whole. And so I think it's really important if we add that into there and maybe adding it as a government, not necessarily politics. Again, it's talking positively, uniting framework. And so if we could have that added, I would love to give that commitment and open that space in Silicon
Perfect.
Valley.
And now that you're going to be an elected official and a mayor, can we count on you activating Hispanic Heritage Month where you win?
Absolutely. I am an elected official. I am more than happy to fund it and move it and shake it in not only the region, but in the city that I represent, which is the city of Milpitas.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I think that we have a person over there. Thank you. And then over there. Actually, if you want to come, why don't you like come here so it's easier for everybody to see you and have a mic.
Hoorah. I'm in the Navy, I was. And
thank you for your service.
Real quick, today is the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And if you don't know it, 17,000 Puerto Ricans served in World War II, right? There were Puerto Ricans in Pearl Harbor on the day there was attacked. There were Latinos in every war, every major war in the United States from the beginning. And the first admiral in the United States Navy was from Spain, a son of a Spaniard. So to me, he was Latino, Admiral David Farragut, the first admiral in the United States Navy. And that's something that most people don't know. I represent the Association of Naval Services Officers. It is the Coast Guard, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Merchant Marines, right? Active duty military personnel. Rolando, stand up. Rolando Machado is the commander in the United States Navy, right? Thank you for your service. What I want to bring to you today is the Association of Naval Services Officers is your Latino leadership and resource group. It is the only government-approved, sanctioned, and supported by the Commandant of the Coast Guard, Commandant of the Marine Corps, and the Chief of Naval Operations today. There is no other Latino leadership group in any of the services. What we're trying to do is not just mentor and help our young men and women, our young leaders, to reach the highest potential to go from, E1 enlisted all the way to admiral or general officer. It is also to recruit the right Latinos. Diversity and inclusion is a matter of national security. If we cannot get our young men and women who are of Latino descent to join the services, only 1% of our population serves, we're going to lose the next war.
But, okay, because I don't want to cut you. I'm very respectful, but
So
don't go. So what you need is media support
Absolutely.
to get more Latinos to get into the Navy?
We need to tell our story. We need to recruit the right people, and we need to tell the story of the Latinos that are serving today, that have served, that have done great things for their country. And what I do need is that media support. We have a YouTube channel. We get 300 views whenever I post something. I don't have the means, the funds, to get this done right. And so I need your support. If you want to volunteer, come see me. Roy Love.
What about your commitment, since you're there?
I am
what are we doing with the
100%
Navy Hispanic Heritage Month
committed to telling the story of Latinos in the service and to help get your young men and women to get scholarships, to join the military, to go to college. We have plenty of scholarships, and we can't give them all away. So help me give them away.
Thank you so much, yes.
He has a mic back there.
Hey, I just wanted to say I'm actually dual-hatted today. So I'm National Vice President Manso, but I actually get to serve as the executive assistant to Rear Admiral Dennis Velez. Rear Admiral Dennis Velez is one of 9 active duty flag officers in the United States Navy right now. He's the only Puerto Rican, native Puerto Rican from the Juntas.
That's awesome.
But what's actually incredible about him, he was just inducted into the Puerto Rican Distinguished Veterans Hall of Fame.
Amazing.
Earlier this month, November, and he's the first person of Hispanic descent to serve as the commander of Navy Recruiting Command.
Amazing.
And so we have a lot of different things that we can talk about. There's a lot of different things with regards to perception. Military role models are something that our young men and women need to see. I didn't have one.
Absolutely.
Right? So I grew up in Miami, from Hialeah.
Hialeah, wow, yeah.
La
Hialeah in the
ciudad de
house.
Progreso. All right.
La
Estamos.
ciudad que progresa.
Yeah. I grew up in Hialeah, but I went to the United States Naval Academy, and I was the first person from my congressional district to go there. But what's actually really incredible is I didn't know anybody that looked like me or felt like me. And when I was there in my first few days at the academy...
I love you, but I have to stop you.
Yeah, okay.
Because otherwise we're going to be here. We have 300 amazing stories. So what is your commitment?
So the commitment is ANSO is 100% behind the Hispanic Promise 2.0. And the Navy is doing everything we can to share the story of Hispanics that are currently serving in positions, the highest positions in the Navy.
So for anybody that has media, that has platforms, would you be a role model for them? Can they tell your story?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Can we have a round of applause for, thank you for your service. Thank you.
So again,
Y que viva Hialeah.
Feedback or commitment. Otherwise, we're going to, we have an amazing program.
My name is Rocio Perez, and I'm from Denver, Colorado. Super excited to be here with you. I am the founder and CEO of Inventiva Consulting and also the creator of the Mindshift game. I'm a 12-year-old runaway who made it into university.
Amazing.
And have been leading the way, teenage mother. And I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you because each Latino has an opportunity and we all have a responsibility. And that's what my commitment is to fulfilling that responsibility to our comunidad, working with single mothers, working with teenagers, working with our children to show them that anything is possible and probable in this world as long as they continue moving forward. What we would like is support with media, anyone that wants to help us. We're bringing the game out to the homeless community as well, and anyone who is underrepresented.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
I think we have to do, hold this, thank you so much. I don't want to set the wrong expectations. I was asking, like, what do you need from us as World Human? Because I don't know that I can promise media or anything else. I can promise to create infographics, factoids, books. Like, I can promise what I can promise. So let's keep it realistic to what I think that we can do. So I'm going to change the game a tiny bit because otherwise, we will, as a World Human Organization, we will produce a very comprehensive toolkit by April 15th to prepare for Hispanic Heritage Month. And it will have an incredible and unifying messaging framework, a unifying data sets and communication assets. Please stand up if you commit to taking a look and trying to use it in your company, in your organization, or else can we have people standing up if you think that you can use a Hispanic Heritage Month toolkit for Hispanic Star. Wait, we're gonna take a photo here so we can go back to you, all of you, perfect. Everyone, yes? Are we taking photos over there? Perfect.
Wait, here's the photographer. Hold on.
Right.
He was on the phone. Hold on.
All right, one more. There you go.
Hold on. He's going that way, so I think we're going to look that way.
Okay, everybody turn that way. Standing
that
up, Hispanic Heritage Month Toolkit activation. I just need takers for this so that we can actually make a reality. Take your flag if you want to make sure that you're seeing Marisa is doing this. This is a nice photo. Actually, that's not a bad photo. Are we ready? Don't kill yourself, my friend. There you go. Okay. Commitment, Hispanic Heritage Month Toolkit. 1, 2, there you go. All right. So keep standing up or sit down. We will produce an infographic about Latino data coming from all sources every 2 weeks. For the next year, we're going to produce an infographic. Could you please raise your hand if that is something that is useful for you, whether you're a media organization or so on. Stand up if you like infographics and material, digital material that we can produce is useful.
What are you saying? What about what? Something for schools, yeah.
Okay, something for schools.
Great point, yes.
Like what?
For teachers. They don't know, right. She makes her own presentations, right?
Okay, so we commit. I think that we can commit because we have Ray Martinez. Are you in the audience? Ray Martinez, not?
He's back there.
Are you there?
All the way in the back.
Come here. Ray Martinez, I would like to, would like to call you out. Ray Martinez, Everfi, Teach for America, and We're All Human is creating a Hispanic heritage curricula that ideally will be done by 2023 because it's going to take a long time so that every teacher has the opportunity to teach that. And so that's in history. Ray Martinez, please see him. We're going to have a session with him later today to talk about something else. So that's the kind of commitment I'm looking for. That's the time of, if your story is like that, perfect. Otherwise, we're going to share it for the lunch. Are you sure?
Yeah,
we're going to put it on spot. Okay.
Thank you. My name is Lily Rocha. I am the CEO of the Latino Restaurant Association, and but I'm actually my commitment, whatever we're talking about, is within the LGBTQ community. I am an LGBTQ person. I feel like we have to have a little bit more understanding within our own Latino culture with regard to LGBTQ. I feel like we're very behind on that. So my commitment is to always do that for the LGBTQ community. And if you want to talk to me about restaurants, also.
So I would like to hear that every restaurant, Latino or restaurant in the country will, use this Hispanic star the way that the rainbow is used during Pride. Can you do that?
All of our members, yes.
All right, we'll do that. We will provide the stamp and everything else.
Thank
That's a dream. Thank you so much. We'll follow up on that. Short and sweet, short and sweet.
Good morning, everyone. Me llamo Yvonne Haynes. Soy de Puerto Rico. Llego aquí en Estados Unidos desde los 19 años. Really quick, my pledge to support, thank you, to support the We Are All Human campaign and moving forward the Latino agenda in the country. The most important thing that we need to do, I'm pledging to every single one of you, see yourself as a cobblestone. Throw it in that pond and see the ripple effect. What I mean by that is that you have to be a mindful, civically engaged individual, meaning come from a place of consciousness so you can incept or at least stop the hateful propaganda that many politicos, is any politician here
But what's the commitment, darling? I'm sorry,
the commitment is that we need to be that that cobblestone so we can cause a ripple effect and bring civically mindful engagement in the community so we can avoid the propaganda that takes away from the Latino.
Look, thank you so much. I got it.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Rods. I'm the founder of Hello Alice. We support over 600,000 small business owners. Our commitment is we have given away over $20 million in grants. Latinos are applying at disproportionately low rates.
Yep.
We want to get more money into the hands of Latino business owners. We want to work with Hispanic Star to do that. And so to give money away. And then our ask is that if you are, we think 2022 is the year of small business. We want it to be the year of Latino small businesses. So in your community, please share everything you can do and everything we can do to support Latinos in your community. My email is Carolyn at Hello Alice. Email me.
What's the name of the organization again?
Hello Alice.
Hello,
Great.
Alice. I would like, Caroline, could you commit to actually mobilizing all the 20,000 small businesses that you have so that they can get active during Hispanic Heritage Month with data, with symbols, with whatever?
A ton of data. We will activate them. Yes.
Okay, we'll give you that. Thank you so much.
Saludos, saludos. Hello, guys. How you doing? Gracias, Claudia. My name is Jose Salcedo. I am the CEO and founder of Trilo. We are a tech startup based here in New York, born and raised in Washington Heights, Dominicano.
Yeah.
Our startup, the name Trilo, which means bring it, we are a tech company and we focus on empowering Latino businesses, everything from restaurants, shout out to the Latino Restaurant Association, one of our partners, to grocers, to you name it. So our pledge is to help empower Hispanic-owned businesses by providing them technology from everything from online presence to the last mile delivery. And as you know, the big Ubers of the world are not really focusing on us, and we feel that Trilo could be the next impact, not only for the food and beverage industry, which is huge in our country, but also empowering many of these small Latino businesses who've got impacted by COVID. And if you know, like 1 out of every 6 restaurants were shut down because of COVID. So many of our Latino businesses in this country support and push that forward.
So love it. And he could have been on the radio, right? I used to work in,
hey,
I used to work in radio, but not on the air. But
claro.
And I can see it. So But how are you going to affect perception? How are you going to do all that? We love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our company is already partnering with amazing organizations like the Latino Restaurant Association,
Awesome.
which can help from the ground up, providing them online presence, last mile delivery. Because as you know, the Ubers of the world are taking a big chunk of the business. So not only do we place the support, but we also would love to partner with Hispanic Star Ventures. Obviously, we're like the perfect fit because not only are we trying to make an impact in tech, but also on top of that, really empower our Latino business.
Awesome.
All right, we have to focus on perception changing. This is all about perception change. Thank you so
100%.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like, if you're gonna share, like, focus on how do we actively, what is your commitment to making sure that we add to the perception change of our community?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jorge Flores. I am a Hispanic Star representing the Boston hub. And thank you. Amazing job you've done here, Claudia. So our commitment to the Hispanic Star and the community is to continue bringing forth the relevance of our numbers and getting employers to actually elevate Latinos as the Hispanic Promise pledges to do. What we need from you is an element of what's the word I'm looking for? Is accountability. How do we hold these companies that we have signing the pledge to hold them accountable and say, here's the things that you need to do, sort of like a kit, and that would actually be helpful to us to help sell to the businesses that we're bringing into the realm of Hispanic Stars. Thank you.
Don't go. So we have the Hispanic Promise, the corporate pledge. 250 companies have signed it. A way to change our perception is to get corporate America to make a promise to Latinos. So I would love for all of you to try to get every company in your city, the top 30 companies in whatever you are, to sign the Hispanic Promise. Can we count on that? Whether you're Chicago, whether you're Chicago or in South Houston or in Boston.
Viva!
Mobilize the Hispanic Promise so that we can get to the top 500 Fortune 500 companies. And yes, we will actually put the teeth onto that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I just say, Jorge and Boston, during the Hispanic Heritage Month last year, were able to activate your sports leagues, 30 companies. You get 30 companies to sign the Hispanic Promise. And that's the kind of commitment we're looking for so that we can change the perception. Thank you so much, Jorge and Sofia.
Hi, good afternoon. The name is Tanya Ramos. I'm the president at the Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation.
Yeah.
And you have my commitment to continuing to invest in Latino students from around the globe in educational equity, access, and success. And so what we need help with is funds, right, to continue supporting our students. We've given more than $6.5 million in scholarships thus far. And our commitment to Claudia and to Hispanic Leadership Summit and to the STAR is to continue catapulting and investing in that next generation of leaders. And then ultimately, because we're the Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation, creating a pipeline of future Latin music creators so that we can preserve our Latin music for generations to come.
Tanya, don't go. I have a wish list. Is there any way, you have so many artists and so many, like incredible stars, is there any way that you can activate them and tell them that they should activate their social media and say that Latinos are positive contributors to the country? Like on Hispanic, like use whatever moments, just like get the word out. We mean growth. They're amplifying
us to help bring more visibility and awareness to our work so that we can help students from around the globe that are under-resourced. But yes, I'm happy to help support in that way as well. You have my commitment.
Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Rios, and I'm the president and CEO for Nation Waste. I'm the first Latina in the waste management industry in America. And my commitment in this year is to establish more, how would I say, to have Latinas to follow the path, because I feel lonely. There's no other Latinas in the waste management industry, so I will create a different way to teaching perhaps and maybe mentoring other Latinas, Latinitas that want to go in business. So my commitment is to call others to help me, because not only that I want to have the franchise division for Latinos in the waste management industry. and perhaps with only Latinas, start with Latinas, but they will be needing funding because this is a very heavy cash demand business. So perhaps we can, you know, some of the group can talk to me and help me get this through. And I'm thrilled and honored just to do that. I have been privileged with so many accolades in America because I'm the first Latina in this industry. I broke the barrier, and I want others to follow as well. So thank you, Claudia.
If we give you Hispanic Star stickers, if we give you posters with like all the factoids that you see there, can you put them in every truck and waste management that you have?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we put them
Every
there?
toilet, porta party.
Yeah, we'll give them to you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, by the way.
Hi, everybody. My name is Natalia Carvajal. I'm actually building my own branding, focusing on mental health for Hispanic women, especially. What my commitment is to continue to create awareness as to the resources and the lack of resources for Hispanics in everything that has to do with mental health, addiction, emotional. Yes, and what I need from you, Claudia, what I'm asking you is some infographics. Where do we stand? Hispanics are the ones that are the number one that lack affordability to be able to get helped. And mental health, as you guys may know, it's important. So I would love to see some numbers, some data that I can work with so that we can get more support and funding for Hispanics. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Priscilla Guaso from Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Also representative of the Miami
305.
chapter. Woo! And a proud Chicagoan. I am the CEO and founder of Latinas Rising Up in HR, and we focus on bringing more Latinas into the HR space, because like you said, specifically, if we want to diversify our organization, we got to start with HR and get our folks in there so we know where to find them, right? Where to find us. My commitment, Claudia, is for all our members. We just started a year ago. We have about 500 members. I want all our ladies, all of them, to have that Hispanic promise for their company. So we'll get that there.
That's
That'll
amazing.
be our promise.
So
And
important.
what I could use help with is really exposure. And if you know any Latinas in HR, regardless of their roles or students, please get them connected with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So this is the end.
Wow, this is historic.
This is the end. No, look,
No,
I mean,
this
like
is-
in reality is that everybody has a role to play. 77% of Latinos not knowing of their own contributions is a tragedy, and we're gonna fix it. So whether you're in the White House, whether you are in banks and you can activate your ATMs to every time that someone comes and takes a little money that says, like, you know, that Latinos generate 12% of the GDP, whether you are Alpha and you can train every one of your students before anything about the data that we learned today, whether you talk to your mother, your family, whether you need anything. The point is that we all need to become the educators and the awareness raisers of our community. It's time for Latinos to talk to Latinos about Latinos. That's it.
Absolutely.
And we need an absolute commitment. And if we can all join forces a couple of times, like Hispanic Heritage Month, for example, if we can all just make a lot of noise there, I think that we can break through. And that's pretty much what the invitation is. For all of you that care about perception, want to be part of what we're doing, mapping out, getting involved, and so on, Jorge, Dr. Juan, and I will be leading that workforce. Jorge, closing words before we go into the lunch.
No, listen, as I just said, this is historic. This is an exercise that to this degree has never been done, and we can only do it together, right? We can only do it together. And as I look around the room, I see a lot of faces of people that I respect and admire, and a lot of new faces that I'd love to meet. But I think that together, like I said when I started, in unity there is power. En la unión está la fuerza. We have to do this together. Nobody else is going to do it for this community. We have to stand up as one community and do it. And thank you. Thank you all so much. And thank you.
So we will-
And tomorrow, by the way, don't miss, we have a panel
Right.
on Hispanic representation in media, which I have the privilege of moderating with Maria Elena Salinas, who's a trailblazer, as you all know, with Tom Llamas, who's now a new
He's
Hispanic
promoting his
face.
session. I love you.
No, but I think it's really important because I think it's also important for us as Latinos to celebrate these folks, to celebrate that Tom Llamas is now at NBC News and he's doing amazing things there, and to celebrate the people like him and like Gio Benitez and like all of these people that are faces that are representing us on camera across the industry.
So Jorge, normally when we are at the United Nations, we get everybody to vote.
Right.
today we don't have the voting, but we want to make sure that we get your vote from your, like physical standing up. So can I get your votes if you commit to being an active player in the changing of the perception of our community? If you are an active player, stand up.
We can't hear you.
If you're an active player, stand up. If you commit to making sure that our community can break through the perception that we need, please stand up and give it to all of us. Look around. This is all of you, all of us standing here for each other. Thank you so very much, and let's...
Yeah, thank you all, and I see Tony and Sister Norma. No?
Thank you so very much. We're going to break through the noise.